And this is from one of the Pathfinders over in the UK. So, thank you so much.
We're having a double issue with our volume.
Double issue with our volume?
Yeah. Like it's playing this at the same time. Just tried to shut down a couple things. Audio issues, we're still learning on this whole Twitch thing.
It's funny because we were, like the last half hour, we were trying to get our audio working.
I realized it was going through the mic. Now it sounds good. Thank you very much, Taylor.
Thank you, Taylor.
He fixed our audio. So,
all right.
So for the first couple minutes, we might have to change this up, just to give you guys a little bit more not feedback sound. Brian opened up his Secret Santa gift from one of the Pathfinders over on the other side of the world, and he got 2 teams. And you're playing which one?
I believe, if I remember correctly, I rolled evens for the Zizor team.
Oh boy!
Oh boy! So let's see. And this guy is very humble about his painting skills. He's doing a lot better than I am. So I'm gonna get the Zizor out here, and we're gonna.
So I feel really bad. So Taylor did this whole 5 model count minimum. I did a giant with a whole bunch of skeleton parts, and there was a dead dwarf on there. No, a dead elf and some dwarf heads, and 3 or 4 skeletons on it. It was cool. This should meet the 5 model minimum, and I'm seeing this going, oh, I suck.
No, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Let's see. I need we're also, as far as the what we'll be playing today, we're going to be using the base teams out of the book. So I unfortunately won't be using the fantastically painted coaching assistant that's in here. All of them. Oh man, look at that guy.
That looks so cool.
They are so cool. So let me get my team. Let's see. So I have 1 guard, who's this big guy. And then I'll have 5 jacks and 2 strikers. So let me just make sure I get my strikers out.
Taylor says Michael went crazy.
He did.
I think it's awesome.
So I'm not gonna glue them right now, just to kind of keep things rolling. But yeah. So I need this one. So they'll be a little rickety on the pitch for right now. Maybe as we get going here. Maybe when Rick's taking a turn or something. Wow, these are fantastic. Thank you so much. And we'll still count this as if it was December.
Well, it is
24th. Alrighty. So yeah. So this is my Zizor team that I'll be playing. Alright.
Okay, so obviously with DreadBall, Brian is much more versed in it than I am. I know how to get my butt kicked. I'm really good at that.
Well, I've played quite a bit of DreadBall, and I've done a variety of teams. I am kind of partial to the Revs, as you can imagine, but oh boy, are they not a good team to demo a game with.
No, they're not.
So as far as that goes, we'll be playing 2 teams here. Rick, do you want to introduce your team?
So I'm going to be playing the Trontech 29ers. So these are, I'm hoping they do good because they're a base team. But part of the reason why I'm playing them is because, well, there was a book that came out called The Last Hurrah. Mm-hmm. And he had a nifty little Trontech team. Remember what they were called?
The Vitala Vipers?
Yes. And again, I'm based off just the regular cards. The only difference for me is I have 2 guards, 3 jacks, 3 strikers. I get 3 cards.
You get 3 cards?
And I get 1 coaching dice. So, coaching dice in DreadBall is an extra dice you can throw in on any Is it called challenges?
Tests.
Any test. So I have one of those that I can throw in, and of course you can gain those through the fan cards. Fan checks. Yep. See? This is why Brian does DreadBall far more than I do. He's getting set up.
Yep. So I'm just
trying to figure out how to play this.
Making sure we cover the basics of how you play the game, because we could just dive right in, and that's fun and all. But so the Tron-Tech team is a pretty solid starter. They've been in it since the beginning. So the Zizar team, which are a bunch of bug people, they also get one coaching dice and one DreadBall card. So I don't get as many as Rick to start, but I can accrue them over the course of the game. So how play typically works, and we'll kind of get going here, is we have alternating what they call rushes. So one player's team will go, then the other player's team will go, and they go back and forth until we hit the 14th rush, which is basically 7 turns per player.
Or
if
Brian beats me to the 7. Now I want it to go to this 7, but Brian will probably beat it over to that 7.
So what Rick's pointing out is that we have kind of a landslide rule where if you get to 7 points, the game ends and that person is the winner. So we'll see. Like I said, I actually have never played Zigzor. You actually have played Zigzor.
I have played them, yes.
So you bet you've
made better. And you kicked my butt.
I mean,
just for the record.
So the other fun thing is that we do have these little clip outs of the teams. These are really handy to have. So basically we have a number of stats that we go through. There's move, which is how many hexes you move on the board. There's strength stat, which is for slams when you're beating up the other player. Agility, which is a kind of catch-all for jumping around and making daring maneuvers. There's speed, which is for the fast movers to get a little extra distance out of it. There's skill, which is mostly for handling the ball. And then there's armor, so that'll be how well you survive getting hit. Much like Deadzone, we have a lot of 3 dice tests. Which we add dice or minus dice. We don't minus any numbers. Right, exactly. So this will be if there's any time where it's like, oh, there's somebody in my threatening my hex, I'm going to have a -1 dice on making a throw. If there's somebody that's or if I'm moving in to go slam somebody, I get an extra dice for that momentum that I generate. So there's a lot of different ones. The different types of players, we have strikers. Mine are denoted with their white base. Rick has his with green. And the strikers are the ones most suited for handling the ball. They have the best agility and skill checks typically. And what they'll do is on those tests, strikers get an additional dice. So you have your base dice, but say I was going to shoot and score a point, I would get an additional dice if my player was a striker. So I'd have 4 to start with, and then there would be some other modifiers. So as we're playing, one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're telling you whether we're moving a striker, a guard, or a jack of all trades. Jack. Just because, unfortunately, with the camera angle and whatnot, it looks like you can't tell which ones are which. Yeah, it might be a little tricky. We're new to this. We're figuring it out. Yeah. All right, so we've already actually kind of decided ahead of time which player is going to be the home team and which player is going to be the visitors. And so how that typically works is that the home team will be going first, and so we'll put up our guys first. Another thing about DreadBall that kind of sets it apart from some of the other sports games out there is that we don't reset between rushes. So wherever your players wind up, even if we score, they're going to stay exactly where they are.
Yep.
Now we can only have, legally, 6 players on the pitch at a given time.
Z's.
So I'm going to just kind of start getting my guys onto the pitch here. And I like to have a guard protecting my back zone here. So the different strike zones as they are represent different points. So what you can do is if your player is in this kind of center honeycomb here and they throw to score, and maybe I'll just kind of demonstrate as if a player was there. If I throw to score here, I get 1 point. If I succeed, I should say. If I throw from back here, I can get 2 points. Now, if I'm at this back strike zone and am I in the center area, I can get 3 points for scoring. Or from the bonus hex, I can get 4 points. Now, each one kind of represents its own challenges. The bonus hex is a little bit harder of a throw to make. So there's a little bit of risk reward going on there, and but if you got it, you could end the game in the second second rush.
Pretty sure you've done that to me before.
It's been done to me. I know that.
So why don't we finish up with your setup, and then we'll get my setup going, and we'll just kind of go through it as we're playing.
Sure.
To give you an idea, because I'm super excited to get my butt kicked.
And as it were, I'm excited to do that too.
Oh, thanks.
So with that, I've got my 6 players on the pitch. The rest of mine go into the bench here. They're gonna sit there until I can bring them out. Usually, if a player of mine gets knocked out of the game, I can bring on a new player.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. How do I want to do this? I don't know. I suck at this game.
How do you want to do this? How does one do? Okay. I'm going to actually look at my stats here.
Figure out what you got going on.
Yeah. Ooh, extra dice on dash test.
Yes.
That's kind of nice. Can't feel a thing. +1 on our armor test. Threatening. That's a fun one.
Oh. Sure, why not? Because I'm an oddball.
All right. So, with that, what we can do, both teams are now set up.
Yep.
What we can do is we'll move our round tracker to the first
Pitch
round.
1. And
we'll do the handshake part. That's always important. And may the best team not die. So, we start by launching the ball. So we've got a small ball here. It starts off on the white side, and we'll alternate as we go. And so I launch the ball by rolling the dice. Whoop. And 6. And so what that'll do is it'll roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And it's actually going to then ricochet and bounce. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 towards Rick, 4, 5, 6 towards me, 3. So it's going to be towards Rick.
And, oh, darn.
And we'll do, I think I ricochet with the distance here. So that'll move additional 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah. All right. So we're off to a good start.
Great.
So during my rush, I have about 5 tokens worth that I can spend as they're called action tokens. And so each player can have up to 2 actions performed on them, typically. And so basically I can spend 1 to move a player.
Yep.
I can do that to we have run is a typical action. Throw, grab, dodge, evade. We'll kind of get into each one as they kind of come up. But one of my typical ones I like to do, I actually haven't looked at my card yet. Oh, good. For those of you at home, this is a fun card. It's a good thing Rick wasn't looking at the camera when I showed that.
Yeah.
So what I'm actually going to do is spend one of my action tokens to draw a card. Now I can only, in a given turn, draw one because my team had started with one. And cards can kind of be used at different times during play. They can be used to give my players an extra little turn, or I can use them to interrupt something that my opponent is doing. And so they're kind of nice little additional things on top of my basic abilities. All right, so I've got a couple of jacks. I've got some strikers. So my strikers have a movement of 6, which means they can move up to 6 hexes. And then I have jacks, which can do 5. Now I can run to do that distance, or I can do what's called a sprint, which lets me move double the distance, but anytime I am turning my face, it counts as 1. So normally if I'm just doing a regular run action, I can turn and move and do whatever I want along the way. But if I'm sprinting, I have to include the pivots and turns one at a time. So to get things kind of started here, I'm actually going to spend an action token on getting this guy.
Nope, you're down.
A little bit further upfield. So that was, let's say I had him here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can get him at least one more till 5. Ah! Maybe I will glue these guys on Rick's rush.
So that means I need to go upstairs and get my glue for you.
Does that work?
It works, but I don't know how much is left in it.
Okay. So.
Oh yeah, it's got plenty.
And the reason, like I did that, so I've only got three actions left. And the ball's right there. So what I'm gonna do next is I typically like to move some players into position, and then I'm going to activate my striker here. He's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Just gonna try and pick up the ball.
I'm gonna try to pick up the ball. So how this works is it starts as a 3 dice test. Maybe you go over to the dice cam for that.
Well, yeah.
We'll see. So a 3 dice test to start. I get plus one dice for being a striker on a skill test. So picking up the ball is a skill test. Now, with that, I am actually going to get a -1 because Rick has a player who's facing that hex where the ball is located. Now, my hope is that I can roll 5s.
Yep.
So, knowing that, and to demonstrate another thing, I'm actually going to throw my extra coaching dice in there because I would like to pick up the ball and hopefully do something.
Rick's an idiot. Can you tell I haven't played DreadBall in a while? I left both of those wide open.
You did. But
wide open!
We'll see how it goes. All right, so to start, this is my typical dice roll there of nothing. But I did get a 6, and much like Deadzone, 6s explode. So I get another dice here, and I got a 5, which means I had two successes on that test. Now, what that means, when you're picking up the ball, if I had 1 success, I pick up the ball, and that ends my guy's action. I'm just kind of stuck there holding on to it. Now, this is one of the really fun mechanics in DreadBall, is when you double a pickup or a catch or something like that. In a lot of different cases, if you double the test, you get to do something extra with it. And so in this case, if I doubled that test, I actually get to move and do a free run or throw action as part of it.
I really wish I was playing the Vixens right now.
And so what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to have my player step back a hex. And so
You have to roll an evade.
I have to roll what's called an evade test, which is an agility test. And how it works is I have 3 dice to start. I have +1 for being a striker on an agility test. And then I have -1 because of the threat of the player that I'm leaving the hex of, basically. And so, basically, if I fail this test, my guy falls flat on his face.
And you lose the ball.
And the ball scatters and ends my rush. I never want to lose control of the ball unless I score. Otherwise, I never want to lose control of it. So, an agility for my striker here is on 4s. I got a 6. This is a special kind of test. I can keep going, I guess. So this test is what they call a 1, 2, 3 test, which means the first time you do it, you need 1 success. The second time you do it, you need 2 successes. So it gets consecutively harder to continue evading or dashing or things like that. Okay, so what that does, that counts as one of my 6 move. So then I would go 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm actually going to go like this for 6. So I've got part of my facing is towards the goal there, but I'm also kind of protecting myself a bit from Rick's lineup there, who might try to kill me later. I should also mention that coaching dice I use, I now don't have it. I used it up, and I'll have to see if I can get another one later. All right, so I have 2 actions left. I'm going to save one for my striker. I'm not going to throw the ball right away, because if I miss or if I score, my rush is going to end, which means I had one other action left on the table. Typically, you like to use as many actions as you can to try and get your other players into better position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate it for this other jack here, and I'm going to move him kind of up the field a little bit too, but not quite into that center lane. That's a little dangerous, as we might find out later. So with this as my last action for the round, the second action for that player, I am going to throw the ball to try and score. So this is a skill test for a striker. I start with 3 dice. I get +1 for being a striker on a skill test. I'm going to get -1 because it is a small target. Always going to score, it's always going to have a -1 no matter what. But because I did not move and I'm close enough to it, I don't have any other modifiers. So this is going to be for 1 point to try and get on the board here. And I need 5s.
You
got it. So I got 1 success, which counts as a score. So the ball is going to go on over.
Jeff's balls. Wow, that sounds horrible.
So we have some other ones. They're not painted. Oh wait.
But we don't have any magnets.
I do have.
Do you have a bigger one?
I do have the bigger ball that's painted.
That would be even better.
That would be a little bit easier to spot then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't have any painted ones, but I do. All right. So with that, the ball resets. I'm gonna clear out my activation token. I'm gonna get a little point on the board, and the points go on a swinging pendulum, back and forth. And so after a score's happened or the rush ends, there's a couple of upkeep kind of things. So what I do next is I'm going to be moving the ref bot. So this is a character that's on the pitch that can help or hinder either player throughout the game.
Which is not somebody that Brian and I use very well, I don't think.
not as often. If I was playing Convicts, this would definitely.
If you were playing the Convicts, I would have been scared.
So within the context of the game, you can cheat in that there are specific. Within the rules, there are specific fouls that your players can do, and the ref bot is going to be on the lookout for those as we play. So what I'm doing is I'm going to flip over a card, and I look in the upper left-hand corner. There's a little number next to an icon that says how many hexes the ref bot can move. And as it's ending my rush, I get to move that ref bot. So I'm going to go 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm just going to put the ref bot there to keep an eye on things.
To protect yourself.
Maybe.
That's really what it is.
We'll see. And I'm going to move my round tracker up around, and that's going to kind of close out my rush. And so
that
now
means it's my turn.
It's Rick's turn, and the first thing we're going to do is launch the ball.
Launch the ball.
Those are 6s, right?
Yeah, I believe. Yep, that's a 6. So we get this all over again. 1 through 3 towards Brian.
Hey.
This seems awfully familiar.
It does.
And it's going to go
5,
not 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's not helpful. So,
but also not bad position for Rick. Because it is on my side.
I am going to... I'm going to buy a card first.
Oh, it was a good move.
Because the cards are what help us.
His team, in particular, the Trontex, really benefit from having a lot of cards being able to play.
Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm not as talkative as Brian is, because Brian knows this game far better than I do. You gotta squeeze it pretty hard.
Squeeze the sides. Drop.
Yeah. Just a drop.
We'll just do a little drop.
That was very Bob Ross of you.
just a little drop.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dash. So to get things rolling, I guess that'll be my first one. Is I'm gonna move my striker up here, and my movement's only 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sorry.
And then I have to use a dash to get to the ball. Now when you dash, it's a 1, 2, 3 test.
Yep.
And it's strikers get the bonus, right? No, Jacks
get the bonus.
Jacks get the bonus.
It is a speed test.
It's a speed test. So my speed skill is a 4-up. Just to make it easy, all of my guys are a 4-up on everything except for my strikers on their armor. Their armor is a 5.
That can be handy.
So, force. And I got it.
Nice.
So then I have to pick up the ball. So I get 3 dice. Plus the 1 because I'm a striker. And guess what? I need 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, that's not a fan check.
No. They're,
no, the fan checks are only when you score.
When you score or get big hits.
Big hits,
or things like it. You make a long pass. You double an opponent on an opposed test. There's a couple of situations that generate what we call fan checks. They're just little ways that basically tells you after making an awesome play that the fans love it and they can reward you within the game as part of a mechanic. And that can come in the form of extra cards or extra coaching dice. And it really is a fun little mechanic. You can pre-measure.
Yeah.
It's an important part.
It is. So I can go nuts. I could try it. That's crazy.
So crazy it just might work.
Right. That kind of stuff never works for me.
I don't know.
Anyways, I picked up the ball and I doubled it, so I do get a free move with him.
Yep.
So 1,
free
2, 3,
run or
4.
throw.
The 5 puts me there.
Well, Rick is planning on his move. I will say, DreadBall also falls into one of those things that I really like about a lot of Mantic's games, is that a lot of their rules, as far as regular play goes, are condensed into one page in the back. It's a little a little on the dense side, you might see, but it mostly just kind of just displays and demonstrates the different modifiers for the different actions that are at play.
Yeah. One, two, three, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Nicely done.
That's number 6. I've never used that.
Yeah, it's really kind of neat. They actually have the numbers for the players, so if you don't want to put your action tokens on the board, you can put it over here.
And my Tron-Tech happens to be numbered.
They happen to be numbered. They're on the back.
Let's see.
So I know we've been talking a bit about the strikers. One of the other players on the field are the player types is a jack, and so they count as a jack of all trades in that respect. So they can move about the pitch very well. They have the bonus dice to their speed tests.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
They can slam opposing players, and they can pick up the ball and make throws and try to score and things like that. So they're a very versatile type of player. There are some teams that are only jacks, which is fun. I forgot to mention, as far as the strikers go, one thing that they cannot do is they cannot slam opposing players.
Correct.
They are not allowed to hit one another.
So number 1, he's going to make a sprint.
He's going to sprint.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep. And so, player just sprinted up the field.
Yeah.
And so, guards being the last one, we each, I only have one, Rick has 2. They're the big bruisers, so they have their bonus dice to strength and armor tests, and they are built for slamming things. But for them, their kind of side effect is they cannot handle the ball.
I'm going to be a little bit smart on this. My jack is just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's fair. There's nothing wrong with moving in a position.
Get that in play.
And so Rick looks like he's considering using some cards. And so some of the cards that we'll wind up seeing will be things like any player, any action, or striker throw, or things like that. There's a wide variety in this deck. And ultimately the player can have, even if they've already spent 2 action tokens on them, you can always use another card on them.
So, see if I remember this right. I can still shoot on that last thing if I move up 1.
Yeah, if you move up to this hex, you can throw basically as long as there's a path going one way or the other to the score. So this back one, I'm not truly protecting. The outside perimeters you can still throw to score.
Okay.
But if I'm forward, then they can sneak behind me. And so it's a little bit of a trade-off.
So first I'm going to do jack or guard, slam.
Jack or guard, slam.
Jack. One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Slamming into him.
Slamming into my jack. So
yes.
This is an opposed test. So Rick is going to
have 3 dice.
3 dice to start.
Isn't that all I get on a jack?
With jack, they don't get bonus dice, but you were moving.
I was moving, so I do get the 1 extra dice.
Yep. So for me, as a jack, I have the option to either dodge out of the way, which is an agility test, or I can slam back, which is a strength test. It's 4s for me either way, so I'm going to try and slam back. All right, so I only get 3 dice on mine.
Well, I do have a 6. So I got 3.
Okay, and I got 1. So that means that Rick tripled my score. I did 3 times as much, which is
That's a fan check.
that's a fan check.
So with the fan check, you get to draw a card, and on the bottom little spot down here,
A little pip.
shows you how many fan checks you have. And once you get 3 fan checks, you can either get an additional card or a coaching dice.
Yep. Okay, so
I am going to move you back directly back 1.
yep. And so what kind of happens next is that because Rick at least doubled me, he's allowed to move my player back into another hex. You said directly back?
Yep.
Okay. And so my player is actually going to fall prone from that hit. And then, Rick, would you like to move forward? You can always move forward into the spot, or you can stay where you are. Okay. So the next thing I have to do is an armor test. So what that amounts to is Rick had 3 successes. I had 1, which means I have to make an armor save of at least 2 in order to not get sent to the sin bin and out of the game potentially. So let's see. My jacks do have can't feel a thing, so I get 3 dice to start. I don't have any bonus dice for being a jack, but I do have 1 more dice.
We always roughhouse. It's DreadBall. How's it going, Fragment?
For can't feel a thing. All right, so here we go. I need at least 2 successes on 4s to stay on the pitch. And
Now you.
now I roll really well. I'm not. Those 6s would explode, but it's kind of. I got what I needed, which means my player is going to stay on the pitch,
Yes.
but he is prone, so I have to stand him up.
Yep.
On my next turn, if I want to.
Now I'm going to lose my last action, and I'm going to use it on number 6 to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And turn around and take a shot.
Okay. So, Rick,
I start with 3.
You start with 3.
But I'm a striker, so I get +1.
So he's got 4 dice to start.
But I moved.
You moved, which is -1.
Small target.
Small target, which is -2, or cumulative.
Yep, and distance.
And distance, because it is a throw over 3 hexes. It is a long pass, so
I'm also going to use my coaching dice.
he's got his coaching dice here. He's going to try and get at least 1 4.
All I need is 1.
And he
Doubles it.
All right, and so that still only counts as 2 points from that bonus hex, which is a great shot,
Good
by
for
the way.
me.
Which swings the pendulum back in Rick's favor.
Gets me a fan check.
I believe it gets you 2 fan checks.
Is it 2 fan checks?
Because you doubled a bonus strike.
Do you have your Bread Doll card?
I do have my Bread Doll card.
Because Bread Doll are an awesome group of guys that made some reference cards.
I'm trying to see if I can get it without being really shiny.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my lighting doesn't really help it.
Nope.
Nope.
Super reflective.
Again, things we need to learn.
Yep. So so that does generate 2 fan checks for Rick. So he gets to draw
And it has the Bread Doll.
2 cards for his fan check. Anytime he wants.
Thanks, Mike. The Bread Doll cards, contact them through the Facebook group. I'm sure they might be able to get some out to you. Speak with Jeff Burbage. He's the one that does them mostly, right? Lee and
Crazy Andrew. Either of those guys should have access to those, and if nothing else, they might be able to get you like a PDF to print them off yourself. They did a really great job with these cards. Great set of guys.
So I only get 1 fan check, right?
2 fan checks. You doubled.
I doubled the bonus.
So I believe you can handle them 1 at a time. So if you got enough for 3,
which is not. So I got 2. But hey, that means this one's going to be a 3.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you lucked out there.
Yeah, I did.
All right. So what happens is Rick can cash those.
I am turning those in. I keep those.
At the end of the game, at least usually in tournament play, is you can cash in who had the most fan checks at the end of a game.
See who wins. I am going to... I'm going to take an extra card.
Alrighty.
If Jeff taught me something, it was keep cards.
We'll move the round forward a bit.
And I got to move the...
And you got to move the ref bot.
Ref bot. She is moving 5.
Why are you moving towards me?
Out of my way.
All right, so begins round rush 2 for me, or rush 3 total. So first thing I got to do is...
Okay, so Brian is playing his brand new Zazors.
Yes.
That he got through the Secret Santa Pathfinder event, and I am playing the 29ers, the Trontech 29ers.
Trontech 29ers. Hey, that glue's working pretty well.
It does pretty fast.
So the first thing
launch your ball.
I gotta do is launch the ball. It's
going 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Almost wound up right in front of me. That would have been nice. All right. So, like I had mentioned at the start, the players they stay where they are previously on the pitch, which can open up some opportunities for me. Where first I went for kind of the closer strike zone, but now I've got players a little bit further along. They might be able to do some more crazy stuff. So, with 5 actions, I think I am going to be on the safe side. I think I'm going to draw a card. I like to have a good health of cards in my hand. You can also discard a card to re-roll a dice.
1 dice.
Or you can re-roll any number of dice, but you can only re-roll a dice 1 time.
Yep.
If that makes sense. All right, so that's that. So I got 4 actions left.
So unfortunately, I don't have any tricks up my sleeve during your entire pitch. I ain't got no tricks up my sleeve.
No.
So, because my wife is home, I'm going to zip upstairs and say hi to my wife.
Okay, so I'll keep you entertained as if I was talking to another person. All right.
You are. You're talking to Mike.
The audience. Mike, I apologize in advance.
Fragment 2501.
I can't actually see the computer screen, so if you start chatting at me, I won't unfortunately see it.
I mean, you could be on that side.
I'll pretend that you are.
I should be on screen.
Yeah, why don't I do that? Well, while Rick is out, I'll walk on over here. And, of course, now all my dice are on the other side of the table. Grab those real quick. All right. And don't worry, guys, we're not going to look at Rick's cards. That wouldn't be appropriate. All right, so I've got 4 actions, and I want to... I don't think I'm actually going to stand up my jack just yet. I want to see if I can get things into position first and foremost. So I'm going to spend an action on this guy. We're going to try to pick up the ball. So I'm going to run on over, and I get 3 dice test to start, +1 for being a striker, and I needed 5s. Whew. And I got it, and it at least doubled, so I've got the ball, and I get a free run as part of it. So, Rick's gone cheat. No. Be funny to do some fouls, though, because he wouldn't be able to catch those. And those are legal as a DreadBall game, but not legal in the DreadBall game. So I'm actually going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to move this player over here. And I think I'm going to have that end his action. So now, let's see, I've got 3 actions left to do. Yeah, so this is where it gets fun and risky. I'm actually going to... I like to try and score big, even if my players lack the ability to do so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the ball from this player to this player. Now, I didn't do that as part of that free run because of that -1 dice. It's a little rough. I'm within 3 hexes, and so I get 3 dice to start. I get +1 for being a striker. And so how passes work is it's much like a throw to score, but with the added aspect of catching the ball at the other side. So I'm going to try and get some 5s on a skill test. All right, and I got a 6. That'll explode. And I got a 4. So I got at least 2 dice. Now, you'd think that'd be cool and double, but in this case, what that's going to do is it gives me 2 dice to try and catch the ball as this player. as that player's a striker on a skill test, I do get an extra dice.
You're not cheating, are you?
I'm not cheating, Rick. I'm not. Right?
Because I'm not down there to roll.
Right, guys? All right, trying to catch the ball. All right, so I got a 6. And nothing else. So what that means is I successfully passed the ball. That was the first 2 successes. And then that 1 let me catch the ball. Now, the downside is I didn't double that catch. So my player just catches it and remains in place. But that's where DreadBall can be really fun, where if I had doubled the catch, I could then move that player further along the field and thrown as well. So Rick is back, so I'm going to let him have his spot again.
They'd probably rather look at you on... I get the shine.
All right, so I'm going to then move this player.
What? Thanks, Mike.
And as a last action here, let's see, what do I have in cards? Cards are good.
I really, 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 really wish I was playing the Vixens.
So I think I am actually going to play Jack Any Action. I'm going to try to have this player stand up.
Cool.
Just because I'd rather not leave him there. Not because I think Rick would stomp on him or anything, but because I want to defend that goal. It's wide open right now.
It's wide open.
So it's 3 dice to start. It's an agility test, and because Rick's not in front of me, I don't have any modifiers. So I just need a 4 to stand up. All right, I got that and at least double. So with the double, I can also, not only do I stand up, but I can move around, and I'm going to slam. And welcome to the jam.
And I'm going to slam back.
All right, so I get 3 dice to start, plus 1, because I had the momentum running in.
Yep, and I only get the 3 dice.
Yeah, so here we go. I am hitting on 4s. And
I have 2 and a 6.
Okay, I'll
You
do
have
my 6
3.
real quick. And so I only have
Come on,
3.
give me another 6.
Ah.
Guess what? We face each other.
We tied our test, and so we turn and face and stare longingly into each other's eyes. So,
which one? You have multiple eyes.
Exactly. That's why you're
Great, now I'm
staring.
confused.
All right, and I'm trying to figure out why you only have 2. So with that, I'm going to use my last action to throw the ball. I get 3 dice to start, plus 1 for being a striker. It's minus 1 for a small target. And because I'm doing this as a new action, I haven't moved, and I'm not throwing too far away. But Rick has held up his finger like he was about to do something.
You have to have the ability to be able to use a card to allow you to...
Run interference is Jack's only, and it has to be I believe, a Jack Any Action or any player any action.
Okay. Just checking.
Sure thing. All right, so I get 3 dice, needing 5s.
1s.
5s.
Dang it.
And
Doubled
doubled it, so that'll be a fan check for me. First one I get, which is just a little 1 pip.
Pink. Pop.
The ball resets. I'll grab my action tokens here.
It goes your way.
Yeah, and so that one was in the 3 zone, so I get 3 points.
Grr.
And then we will move the ref bot 1. Hello.
Hi.
And with that, we'll move the round tracker forward, and it is now Rick's turn.
Oh boy. So, let's move the ball. It's going 3.
3.
1,
Right
2, 3. Okay. Okay.
Someone's been listening to Critical Role.
Spend 1. I'm going to buy a card.
Buying a card.
Let's see here. I really don't like the fact that you have the 3 guys right there in front of me.
Only one of them is Jack.
I'm going to slam into him.
Okay.
So, because I'm slamming him with my guard, I get the 3 dice, +1 for movement, and +1 because I'm a guard.
Yep. And so, strikers can only dodge out of the way, so it's an agility test for me. So I get 3 dice to start, and 1 because I'm a striker on an agility test.
And, yeah, I'm hitting on force.
And I am dodging on force. That's not great. That's not great for me.
So I have 3 6s.
And so I'm gonna keep my losses in there for right now.
No!
Oh no.
So that one was a miss, but that's 2 more 6s.
It keeps going.
Aww.
Oh, it ended.
It did end.
So, Rick,
So
how many
we
did you
actually
get?
need to move them forward.
Oh, okay.
So there, yeah.
So Rick got
So that would be
6.
called a 6 train.
A 6 train. 6 successes versus my 1. Now I could discard dice, or cards I should say, to re-roll. I don't think I'm going to get nearly as many successes, so I'm just going to try and survive it on the tail end.
So I'm just going to move you back 1. I'm not going to move with
Okay,
you.
so my guy is going to go prone back 1. And so how this will work
That's
is...
a fan check.
That is a fan check, because you you more than tripled my my success.
This was
there.
the hardest thing with playing with Jeff, remembering the things for fan checks.
Yeah. And hopefully my microphone isn't picking up too much of the background.
Yeah.
But for me, it's going to be 3 dice to start. I'm going to get +1 because I have the Can't Feel a Thing as a racial ability. Now, I had 1 success versus Rick's 6, which means I have to survive 5 points of damage with 4 dice. Rolling on...
All you need is a couple 6s.
On 5s.
Ooh. You got 1.
I got 1, which negates that,
Oh, that's another fan check.
which is 4 points of damage. So how it works is that my player would go to Sin Bin 1, Sin Bin 2, Sin Bin 3, and he is actually dead. And out
I'll
for the
take
rest of
my
the
fan
game.
check. And look, I got 3 little dots.
Yep.
So I'm going to turn those in for a coaching dice.
The fans love blood and violence.
Really do.
All right, so that was not great for me.
So that was number 1. Three more actions. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go pick up the ball. Attempt to pick up the ball with my striker. So 3 dice. +1 because I am a striker. -1 because of...
No minus.
No minus.
There would be a minus if you sprinted
Yeah,
to the ball.
sprinted. And I need 4s. I'm gonna re-roll one of those. I would like to double.
Yep. So right now he has successfully picked up the ball.
But I need another one so I can double it.
No good so far.
I re-roll one of those other misses. Come on, give me it.
Now, does Rick risk it for the biscuit, or does he just accept that he picked up the ball?
I'm gonna risk it.
He wants that biscuit.
I want it. There we go.
There we go.
I got it.
So he doubled. He gave up quite a bit, not gonna lie. Looking at these cards.
Yeah, I did.
Vigilant Rev, that's alright. We might not read
Yeah.
that. Nimble is really nice because you can do basically play this card and you pass a stand-up, dash, or evade test
For free,
which is kind of handy. And Showboat, he could have played this on a successful
on a 1,
test
2, 3 test.
to
Yeah.
generate a fan check, even if it was picking up the ball.
So I'm going to go guard any action.
Guard any action.
1, 2, 3, slam it in.
Okay. This isn't great.
3 plus 1 as a guard and plus 1 for momentum. I'm probably not going to get the 6s this time.
I get 3 plus 1 for an agility test.
Leo?
Okay.
So that's 3 misses, 2 successes, and 1's a 6.
Alright,
This is not going as well.
Similar. Okay.
Come on, give me a 6.
I
Give me a 6.
4s. Rick needed 4s. So
we stand and stare at each other.
Stand and stare into my hypnotic eyes. So my player actually needs to turn.
So that did not succeed where I wanted it to. This is an issue. Wide open. Yeah. Go for it.
You know you want to.
Rick does stupid things sometimes. Rick's gonna go jack any action. I have to do an evade, which is an agility test.
Yep.
Which is -1.
-1.
I need 4s.
You need 1 success. Ouch. It's never great seeing that.
He falls down.
Yep, in the hex that he was moving to.
That did not go how I wanted it to. Well, it is what it is. Number 5 is going to go all the way. 1, 2, 3. And try and score against a guard.
Okay.
So 4, -1 for distance, -1 for moving, and -1 for the small target, right?
Small target, moving, no distance one.
Yeah, no distance on this one. I am going to throw in my coaching dice.
So you should have 4 to start, -1 for moving, -1 for small target. So you should have 2 base.
What was I thinking?
I think you were.
I was thinking you were in front of next to me.
Oh yeah. I'm not.
In that case, I'm
not threatening you.
Do I play it safe? I'm gonna keep my dice. Just 1. Whew. I got the 1.
You got the 1, so the score goes in, and that bumps it 3 in the other direction.
Yep.
The round tracker moves up.
The ref goes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hello.
Yikes.
Okay. And so with that, I'll be starting my next rush.
Sure.
All right. So I think what we'll wind up doing is we're just gonna do one more rush. Unfortunately, we gotta.
So it would be because he's home, this would be the last rush.
It would be the last even rush is usually how you end it on.
Oh yeah, because we're on 5. So
yeah. So
okay, I'll in.
So if the tournament called it right there,
yeah,
it probably would have gone to you.
Yes.
Which, by 1 point, is a win's a win.
Still a win.
All right.
Yeah. So the reason why we're doing essentially a half game is because we just wanted to get this out there and show people, and then we're gonna load this up to YouTube. But also because Brian's here, that means tonight we are recording Deadzone the podcast as well.
Yes. So we got a double show.
And married men have other requirements.
All right. So I launch the ball. It goes to 3. And so with that, I'm going to see what I can do here. So I don't have as many players on the pitch, and my striker is kind of tangled up right now, which is not great. So I'm going to buy a card. Let's see if something fun happens. And from there, I think I'm gonna, let's see, my jacks have skill of 4.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that before. So
I wasn't gonna say anything.
They're actually kind of good at handling the ball. So I'm actually gonna have this jack here
back up,
try to pick up the ball. So 3 dice to start, and that's it because he's a jack. So we throw, and I needed 4s.
Yep.
And I got 1. Not the greatest situation, but it is what it is. So I've successfully picked up the ball. Now there's a fun thing where if you failed to pick up on the ball, your rush ends. So
Yep.
I'm glad I got at least 1 success.
You're doing the wow. Do the laugh.
Do the laugh?
Yeah, Rob just posted on Facebook and commented on one of these things. What did he say? Hold on. He said, "Ha, Richard, you're so more polite than when I was posting them."
So I think what I'm going to do is, so I've got 3 other activations here. I can only do 2 on that jack, and so I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to be a little bit of a bruiser back here. I'm going to have my guard step out and slam, and welcome to the jam.
And I'm totally dodging.
So 3 dice to start, +1 for being a guard on a strength test, and +1 for the momentum I got running in.
It's agility that they get. Yeah,
Yes.
so I do get 4 dice.
So you
on
do
my
get 4
dodge.
dice.
But I'm still going on 4s.
I'm hitting on 3. So there's this. The threatening is interesting. This player's threat hex always modify a test up to the maximum. The modifier is listed, for example, if a threatening player slams an opponent, then that target player will receive a -1.
He didn't really have to read that.
I read it earlier. So I get 5 dice versus Rick's 3.
3 dice.
And I need 3s.
Woo!
Okay. Not a bad start for me.
Not a bad start for me.
No. And I got that could have been
I dodge it.
So I got 3 successes so far versus Rick's 1. Or 4.
4.
You beat me by
4.
1. Beat me by 1 is what I meant to say. And so what that means is that Rick won the test, which means you can, I believe, turn and face. It would be if you doubled, you can move 1.
Oh yeah.
You can change your facing.
So I just changed my facing.
Yep. Okay, so wish that could have gone different, but it is what it is. And I don't want to leave that unguarded, but I also kind of want to slam him again. So we're going to
man,
turn and slam here. So what it's going to be is 3 dice to start. I'm going to get +1 for moving in. Rick is going to get 3 dice to start, +1 for being a striker on an agility test.
So I get -1 for you in the back.
In the back.
And then I get -1 from the guy in the front because of his ability.
Not
right?
because of his ability, but because
he's threatening.
Yep.
Okay. Yikes.
Because he's standing there. So it can be useful to like double.
This is going to
like
be
that.
a really bad dodge.
All right, so I need 4s.
Okay.
Well. So
that's 1.
With that, I doubled Rick, which means I'm going to knock his player down. I'm going to send him here.
How big are the hexes?
I've never measured them.
About a thumbprint?
About a thumb.
I mean, as a gamer, you would think I would have...
You got a measuring tape around here somewhere.
Well, so the bases... Let's see if you can see that right here. So this is a 20 millimeter base, right? Deadzone's on a 24 millimeter, right? Oh,
You've got this handy dandy ruler.
From Uncertain Scenery.
From Uncertain Scenery.
Because of course I'm going to name drop. So the hexes are...
they're about an inch.
They're an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So with that, because I doubled, Rick has to now make a
Have fun with Cyberpunk, man.
Ooh, nice.
Thanks for dropping by and saying hi.
Yes, yes. Have fun.
That's Michael.
Talk to you later, Michael.
All right. Where were we at?
You need to make an
yeah.
armor test. Because you had 1 success versus my 2, you need at least 1 success to stay on the board.
And I still get my 3 dice on this one,
You
right?
still get your 3 dice. Well, you're at -1 because my guy's standing next to you.
Yeah. And my armor on my striker is 5.
Is that right? Does that modify?
What's his...
Let me just double check if armor tests are modified by... Nope.
Okay.
So you get
So I get my 3 dice.
3 dice. It's stand up that would have a modifier.
Ooh, crap.
So
I failed all of them. And I have no cards to reroll. No. My strikers are a 5.
Ooh, so he failed by 1. He's going to sin bin 1.
Sin bin 1!
Which means at the end of his rush, that player can get shifted down 1. My guy's dead, so he can't come back in.
Does not know how to spell of form sentences. That's why you're going to have fun on Cyberpunk, man.
All right. And let's see. What do I was thinking of doing something. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spend this action token to bring a jack in off my bench to stand in front of my goal. Let me just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You killed 1, remember?
6. I was just making sure there was only 6 guys on the pitch.
Okay.
That's all I was doing.
And then I have a jack any action.
action.
So I'm gonna do that. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, and I really have to go for the 5
because you need that.
because I need at least 1 dice. So it's 3 dice to start for me. It's going to be -1 for a small target, -1 because I moved. All right, so I got 1 dice to hit 4 with the potential of doing a reroll. So here we go. Needing a 4. Got it. And so with that, I get 1 point for that score. Move the round tracker forward, and we'll do the ref bot goes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just gonna go check that out. And it is then Rick's turn.
All right. As I was uploading some pictures for Val. Oh, BKB. Let's launch the ball. Wow, my dice like to roll around in circles. 1. I need a card.
They're handy.
It's a good card to get. Okay. Oh, this is the last pitch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we called this the last pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So
he needs...
number 7's going to step out and go for the ball.
at least a 2 to tie, a 3 to win.
Except for you didn't move that.
Yeah, I did. I was only at 1. I only scored 1 point.
So it should have went that way.
I did move it the wrong way.
You completely moved it the wrong way.
I did. Wow. So it's at 0 right now.
Yeah, it's at 0.
So I just...
So I have to score. Anyways, my striker's over there going to go pick up the ball.
I don't know why I had the disconnect, because that probably should have changed what I did right there.
It probably would have. Oh, I doubled that. The question is how I want to do this.
How do you want to do that?
What?
I mean...
Except for the ref is right there.
I mean...
I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, all I gotta do is score one score.
Yep. You just need to sink one.
I just need to sink one. So I'm gonna try and stand him up.
Okay.
Just 3 dice. No threat hex or anything because of that big nasty guy. So I need agility for this, right? No, skill.
Skill. Or sorry, agility, yeah.
It is agility.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I need 4s.
You get? Wow.
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 It's too bad I can't roll that one. So I get back up, and I get an action.
Yes. You get a run or... Yeah, just a run.
Yeah, just a
Because you
run.
can't stand up and throw because you don't have the ball.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
I'll do it legally.
That's also an option.
So I have the ball. Only this one. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. What number is that? 1.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
Slam.
He's gonna slam into you.
Alright, so I... unfortunately, he's in my back, which means I cannot slam back.
Correct.
And so, and I don't... My threatening only affects my front arc, and so he doesn't have a modifier on it. So I can only make an agility test to try and dodge. And I get a -1 because it's in the back. So I've got 2 dice.
I need 4s on this.
I need 4s as well. Wow.
Whoa.
We're off to a good start.
Oh, yes, we are, sir. Yes, we are. So that's 2 6s.
You guys have been very kind to you.
That's a 4 and another 6. So 4.
4 to my nothing, which
He's a fan check.
quadruples my 0, which is a fan check. All right, where would you like to knock me?
I want to knock you there.
Okay. I'm gonna put
And
it
I am
on-
not following up.
And you're not following up?
No.
Okay, so now I got to make an armor test. It's 3 dice plus 1 because I'm a guard on an armor test. I need
4.
Oh, I also get +1 for can't feel a thing.
Yep.
Needing 4 successes on 4s.
Rob was working fantasy rules, but the current
2
Blood
sixes.
Bowl models are on 32mm, older ones on 25. So yeah, the 25 would be closer. So hey,
Hey, I only got 3 successes because this one rolled. I'm pretty sure to that. So he is actually going to be out for 1.
Sinbin 1.
Sinbin 1.
All right. So that leaves me. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
It is a bold move. Because that's going to not go on him. That goes on him.
Yep.
That's going to end that. Striker, any action. So I get 4 dice. -1 for... Oh, man! -1 for range.
So, before you throw...
-1 for target.
Now, the only reason... under normal circumstances, I actually kind of want to see if you can make the shot.
Sure.
But I did Chekhov's gun this thing at the start when I showed it to the camera. It's ball shatters.
Are you serious?
I've had it since the beginning, and I know everyone's going to get mad if I don't play it. So the ball shatters.
And that ends the rush. And just for the record, look at the roll.
So it looks like it
I would have failed.
But like we said, we're putting a pause on it right here just because we have to also do our recording tonight. But this has been a fun, hopefully informative game of DreadBall. It's a really
just to get it out there.
Yeah, just to get it out there. It's a really fun game. There's a variety of teams.
Oh, but there's 30-some teams or something like that?
There's like 30 teams, and that suit different play styles too.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's what I kept bringing up, the fact that I wish I was playing the Vixens. So the reason why I wish I was playing the Vixen is because that's a team that actually has a special rule that all of them essentially can run interference. Yeah. It's a little tricky. It's something, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's all about interference.
Yeah.
But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed our short game. That ended it. Actually, I won.
Challenge call?
No.
Fan checks.
Fan checks. Technically, I won.
You technically won by fan
1, 2,
checks.
3, 4,
I
5,
have won.
6.
I have won.
Technically, I won. On a technicality, I'll take that win.
I mean, that's how DreadBall works.
It is.
Of course, it'd be a technicality. Great game.
All right. You guys have a great night. We're out of here. So we can go record.
Yep. Have a wonderful holiday.